Today we're talking about volume and area, and I'm just going to introduce you to those two concepts. Area you should have heard about already, but we're going to review that, and we're going to talk a little bit about what volume is and how that connects to area. All right, so first things first, I'm going to have a shape right here, and we're going to talk a little bit about area. So what is area? Area very simply is the area inside of a given space. So in this case, we have the inside of this rectangle, okay, which is also a quadrilateral and also a parallelogram. So in this case, we have this rectangle, and in order to determine if we split this up into equal, like a grid, right, we can count the grid. Okay, so in this case, let's just say that this is 4 inches. It's not perfect, and that this is 6 inches. All right, and so to determine the area, what we do is we multiply the sides, which we know as the length and the width, right? So let's call this the length and this the width, and then we get our answer. So we can count what's inside to determine the area, or we can just multiply the sides. Length times width. So area is equal to length times the width. Okay, and in this case, the area is equal to 4 times 6, both of which are inches. And so again, when we multiply two units, we will get units squared. So inches times inches is squared. So 4 inches times 6 inches is 24 inches squared. So that's how we would do area. And if we counted these boxes, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, added them all up, we would get 24 inches squared. So that's kind of how we do area. Let's talk a little bit about volume. So if area is the flat space or covering the entirety of say a flat two-dimensional shape, right? So, the inside of a shape, right? That's area. Area is the inside, so it's inside, right? Let's talk about what volume is. Okay, so volume, on the other hand, is if we take a solid figure or a three-dimensional shape and we said, what is the volume? We're asking, well, how much stuff is inside of the shape, right? And so volume is what's inside a solid figure, just at its basis, okay? And so in order to determine volume, the simple thing, and where we're going to start before we go into the algorithm, like the algorithm for areas length times width, we are going to talk about the just how to determine what the area is. And so what I have is basically if we have a box, we can break that box up or put cubes in that box. And in this case, I'm going to have centimeter cubes. And so here it is. I created that box. And remember, it's what's inside. And we can see this volume as each centimeter cube. So if there's a cube here, there's a cube here, there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here and here. And what it challenges it challenges you to think of the structure as, well, there's more behind it. So we have to see 2 more behind these. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes. So this would be seen, remember I said they were centimeters, 8 centimeters cubed. So volume is always in cubed, right? We think of area, squarea, volume is cubed, and it's in often whatever the units are. So it could be centimeters, inches, yards, if you're maybe you're building something. That's going to be big, like a building. So volume's what's inside, or what can we fit inside? How much can we fit inside? So volume will deal with solid structures or solid figures in this case. But volume could also actually, volume can also deal with liquid too. So that's volume. Again, if we look at structures, you can develop many different shapes, but that's kind of the basic understanding of what volume is. So hopefully that gives you kind of a good solid foundation, no pun intended, on volume. And another thing to keep in mind, remember this. So area, this might help you a little later on. I just wanted to point this out. So area would be just one of these sides, right? So area would be what we would shade in on one of these sides, okay? And volume is what's inside of it, right? Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. There are connections. There is a pattern, and we'll explore that as we kind of talk more about this.